I'm thrilled to be here and so excited to jump in. Let me ask you a question, and I want a one-word or one-sentence answer. What do cancer survivors, gold medalists, and infertility crushers have in common? Anyone? I'm hearing some good answers. I didn't hear that one. Absolutely. Okay, not quite the answer I'm looking for, but that's okay. You're not supposed to know. And I want to talk to you today. Before I dive in, I want to share with you a story. I have a friend, Debbie. Debbie and I have been friends for 35 years. She's amazing, and she's been living in Ottawa for 30 years. And she moved there for university and never came home. For about half that time, she's been wanting to come home to Toronto. And for almost 15 years, she's also been not terribly excited about her relationship. So her husband decides to call it quits. Solution, right? She actually got everything she wished for, and then all her fears kicked in. She was terrified. She's now going to be twice divorced. What are people going to think? Will anybody ever love her again? Will people in Toronto have time for her, her old friends? Is moving to Toronto the wrong idea? She had so many fears come up. You see, Debbie, like so many people, had this belief that she had to be in this traditional family in order to participate in society and be accepted. And it doesn't always serve us. So when I started coaching her, she was immobilized. She was isolating herself, and she was just spinning with all of these fears. Now, it's going to take a massive shift for her to break free of that in order to actually go into this new life and be brave. And she's going to have to let go of that traditional family, isn't she? There may be some people in this room who can relate to Debbie's story. There may be some people in this room who have chosen to be single and not have children and get shamed for it. What about people in same-sex marriages? Or people who are in dysfunctional or even abusive families who feel unlovable, unworthy? Where do they go to create the family that's right for them? I think you see where I'm going with this. We have this society where we have created this traditional family that really doesn't necessarily work for everyone. It certainly doesn't work for everyone. It works for some, but not for everyone. And that can be really challenging. Okay, so back to my question. Anyone know the answer now? What do cancer survivors, gold medalists, and infertility crushers have in common? Sorry? Sorry, I'm not. Families. Oh, that's awesome. It's actually mindset. Now, before I dive in, I want to share with you why I'm so passionate about helping women to get knocked up and create the family of their dreams, whether it be through getting knocked up or just to support their business. And I want to share with you my story a little bit. I, too, was totally sold on the traditional family, and I was looking for Mr. Right and not finding him. And at 42, I had this wonderful thing called biological clock bite me in the ass. And I had a choice, single mother by choice or childless. I chose single mother by choice and started going for monthly artificial insemination treatments and was followed by monthly disappointments. I did that for almost 2 years. When I was 44, I upped my game and decided that I was going to do in vitro fertilization. I committed to 2 rounds because A, I had 2 vials of sperm left, and B, I was given a 6 to 7% chance of conceiving. Yeah, not such good odds, right? So first round of IVF, nothing. Then at the same time, I had my ex-boyfriend who was supporting me through all of this. He was really one of my cheerleaders. He even helped me choose the sperm donor. Weird, right? And at the same time, I was working with a shaman, and she and I identified the damsel in distress in me. Now, this young woman was fiery and feisty and opinionated and really loud. And she was very attached to the knight in shining armor. And she was so attached that she kept telling me that if I couldn't have the knight in shining armor and the child, that life wasn't worth living. Pretty bold statement. Round 2, my final round of IVF, and on day 1 of my cycle, in a conversation with this ex-boyfriend of mine, I realized I'm not fully committed to this single-parent family. I'm still fully attached to the 2-parent family, and I've put him in the role of the other parent. And in that instant, I realized I have to be all in, and I managed to shift my mindset and be all into the single-parent family by saying goodbye to him for good. 2 weeks later, I was pregnant for the very first time in my life. I now have a 5-year-old daughter, Sandy. Thank you. Yeah, it was amazing. Okay, by the end of this talk, you're going to know how to break out of the societal norm and create the family that's right for you, and that will support you and nurture you and love you. And at the end of this talk, I have a free gift for you, a really amazing gift. Does that sound good? Awesome. Okay, mindset. So what is it? The Oxford Dictionary defines mindset as the set of attitudes that someone holds, the established set of attitudes that someone holds. When I started doing the research for this talk, I was very clear about what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about how a positive mindset will increases your chances of surviving cancer, and the research around that, and the mindset of Olympians, and how you have to have a masterful mindset to become an Olympian, never mind achieve gold, and how there was a lack of research around mindset and infertility. When I started doing the research, I was surprised. There was very little information, research done around mindset and surviving cancer, even though some people were talking about adopting an athlete's mindset to survive cancer. There's lots of research in the area of being Olympians and their mindset, and some amazing research coming out of Johns Hopkins University around even the crazy flips and spins and how they learn to master them, and it's mastering the vestibular system, known as the sixth sense, the sense of motion. And then, of course, as expected, there was very little information around mindset and infertility. Now, mindset of an athlete is very thoroughly discussed. And there's a Dr. Jeff Spencer, and he talks about how we have 2 mindsets, and we all have it. And the first mindset is the human mindset. We're born with it. There's no getting away from it. Its sole purpose is survival. You need to survive. So it's going to inform all its decisions based on fears, and it keeps you stuck. It cannot create a new reality. All it can do is repeat history. And then he talks about the elevated, more modern mindset that champions know they have, and they know they have to choose it. And this mindset is excellence-driven, and it will help you to create a life for yourself that you want. And the difference is that this mindset, you know the fears are going to come up, but you know you can override them, and you can actually work through them. So choose a champion's mindset. Seems simple enough, right? So when we think of Debbie, my friend Debbie, oh my goodness, she was totally in a human mindset. She was stuck in this belief that she was unlovable without a man, and that she wouldn't get accepted in society and whatnot. When I started coaching with her, she was just so stuck. And we live in this society where we grow up, we go to school, we get a job, we get married, and then we have children. And it's not really until you reach that end game of having children that we're all programmed to want, that we get to individuate completely from our birth family. And I would say that is not age dependent. When that happens, is not relevant with age. So, we don't know what we don't know. In my example, I knew this damsel in distress exists in me, but I still didn't believe or know that her beliefs were my beliefs. I knew she was attached to the knight in shining armor, but I didn't know I still was. I thought because I was going through the motions that I was committed to the single mom family. 5 tips. The best part. This one's for you. I have 5 tips for you. The first is choose this champion's mindset. Choose it every single day. Make it a ritual. Number 2 is commit to a goal, whether it be create the family of your dreams or something else, go to Hawaii. Doesn't matter. Commit to it. Write it out every day. Number 3 is fake it till you become it. I'm going to give you an amazing tool in a minute to help you do that. Number 4 is embrace those fears. They're going to come up. They always do. And when they do, they even give them a name. Mine was the damsel in distress. It could have been Joan. Give it a name and try to work with it and bring it on board, because it's just a part of you. And then number 5 is cultivate a growth or champion's mindset in the young people and little people in your life. And you do that by letting go of the outcome, whether it be a grade on a test or a picture they've drawn. Really engage them in the process. Ask them questions. Why did you use yellow? Or how did you come to the answer of that math problem? Engage them in the process. Okay, fake it till you make it. All right, I want everyone to stand up for a minute, and I'm going to take a picture of you while you're doing this. I have to. This is too fun. I want everyone to put your hands on your hips, like Wonder Woman, or if you're comfortable, you can put your hands way up in the air in the victory pose like you've just won the 100-meter dash. Okay? Awesome. Awesome. And I'm going to take a quick picture because this looks amazing. So just stay there. Oh, except that my camera's not going to. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now, so we've been talking about how, no, stay in it. I'll join you. We've been talking about how mindset can influence your body and your life, right? What I'm demonstrating for you is how your body, you can use your body to influence your mindset too. So there's a Dr. Amy Cuddy who did research on these poses. And she said when you're going into a stressful situation, if you take one of these poses, high power pose, which is like Wonder Woman or victory pose, probably not going to stand before an interview and wait in the waiting room in the victory pose. But if you stand in one of these poses for just 2 minutes, you shift your hormonal makeup and you increase your testosterone and lower your cortisol in such a way that you now are in a better decision-making mode. As opposed to if you're in a low-power pose, like staring at your phone. And we all do it, especially in an interview. You're like, okay, don't look at me, don't talk to me. I'm just going to sit here and hide. And that's putting you into a stressful situation, so your cortisol goes up and your testosterone goes down. So use this pose. Okay, you can sit down again. Thank you. Use this pose. And what Dr. Amy Cuddy says is that you can fake it until you become it. So you use it until it comes naturally. Okay, so back to creating the family that's right for you. What would it feel like to really have the support you need so that you could live full out? What would it be like to know that you have that foundation, that rock, to support you so you could become the phoenix? Families can cause so much pain, but they can also bring so much joy. We are all fearless women. We just have to sink down into our power and take it. We all have the role, we have to take responsibility for the role we play in our lives and in society. And we want to show up and play full out. This is the amazing gift. So I have a guided visualization for you. And this will help you choose the champion's mindset every day. And it will help you even create better family relationships with the family that you have. By clearing through all the crud, all of those, I call it a artificial construct of family. So you have these expectations of what a relationship should look like within that family. So it's kind of letting go of those so you can just have these organic relationships. So this is really cool. If you want my free gift, I have a phone number for you. And I'm going to get you to walk you through this, and you'll get it. So you're going to text 1-855-969-5300. I'll say it again. 1-855-969-5300. And what you're going to text, the words you're going to text is dream family, all one word. That's dream family. And you're going to get prompted to provide your email address, and then you'll receive the email from me. And it will be this guided visualization. I highly recommend you listen to it every morning, and it will just help you choose this champion's mindset. Does that sound cool? Awesome. Thank you. I want to leave you with a final quote. And before I do, I would be more than happy to speak to each and every one of you. Probably can't, but I would love to. And I invite you to connect with me in my booth. If any of you feel inspired to talk to me further about working with me and on this family notion, at the bottom of the email you'll receive is a link to my calendar. Please, by all means, grab a time and we'll have a complimentary consultation. In the words of Michael J. Fox, a good Canadian, family isn't an important thing. It's everything. Thank you. Oh.
Cassandra Bach.
Thank you.